Unit 1 Prose 1 In Sahyadri Hills A Lesson in Humility. Author Sudha Murthy. Summary. The author liked to travel. Once she visited a small village in the dense forest located in the Sahyadri Hills in Karnataka state. She went in the rainy season, although leeches, Leeches, leeches were fearful. The mild smell of distant trees, shrubs, shrubs, flowers, the chirping of the birds, and whistle of the breeze cheered her as it was the joy that can never be experienced in the city. The author intended to visit a school in a tribal area. She was connected to a charitable trust which helped schools to improve their conditions. The tribal living there were called as Thanda, Thanda, and their head person was called as Thandappa. The tribals took him as a living god. When she reached there, it rained. She never thought as if she was an intruder, intruder, intruder. She walked to reach the school. A woman was walking with three pots, three pots on her head. The author asked her the way to school, but the woman did not reply. The author thought that the woman might not have understood her language. Then she asked the school address to an old man. He was waving a cane basket. He only indicated directions with his hand. The school was an old thatched building. She thought that the school was built by the tribals. It was a primary school. The author noticed few children playing outside, while others busy under a shade doing something with leaves and straws. There was a small room with two chairs, the two tables, and blackboard with a pot of water beside it. There were no electric lights or fans. The window, having no shutter, served as a ventilator. There was nobody in the office. An old man came to author. The author told her intention of helping the school, but the old man did not show interest in it. Then the author asked him about his life. He told that he was a peon come watchman of the school. He was not a paid employee of the school. His grandson studied in the school free of cost, and in return he rendered this service to the school for many years. He lived in a small hut in the school courtyard. Afterwards, when the old man seemed relaxed while talking with the author, she asked him about the school. He told that the school was run by the state government. There were two teachers and 50 students. The uniform was not compulsory. She was impressed to learn that 50 students came to school. She asked about the difficulties in running the school. He did not reply, but he took the author to a cottage nearby and introduced her to the Thandappa, who seemed more than 90 years of age. He was pleased to meet the author. He told the author that it was difficult to go to school in rainy season. The school clothes would not get dry in the rainy season. The author departed after knowing the difficulties and lifestyle of the natives. She visited again to that village in the winter with umbrellas and clothes. Now there was no rain. The landscape was beautiful like a paradise. She met Thandappa. He recognized and welcomed her. The author gave him the clothes for the school children and umbrellas. She requested him to accept those things, but he hesitated. The author told him that she had herself brought those things for the students, so he should not hesitate. Thandappa went inside the hut without saying anything. The author talked with the children standing there, but nobody seemed to ready to speak. At last, a youngster said that they had heard about computer, but they have not seen it except on the TV. They wished to learn about the computer. He asked the author if they can get a book informing about computers and written in Kannada language. The author was delighted to hear what those children had to say. She promised to search for the book at Bangalore, and if she does not get that, she would herself write it for them. At this moment, Thandappa came out with the bottles of red liquid in his hand. He gave that bottle to the author. He told that it was just a fresh juice of wild red fruit and nothing was added into it. He explained that the juice was good for health. The juice could last for 2 years. He asked the author to drink it after mixing a cup of water and stirring it. The author felt embarrassed. EMBARRASSED. She thought that she could not accept gifts from the poor people. Those people did not have enough to eat and drink. Moreover, she had come to give and not to take. So she politely declined to accept that gift. Thandappa seriously replied that their ancestors had been living there from generations and they had taught them their ways. When somebody is giving us something, we should not accept it without offering something to him. This was a lesson taught to them. If the author did not accept the juice, Thandappa would disagree to accept things brought by the author. The author was shocked as this experience was new to her. She had seen people not expressing gratitude. She had also seen people complaining about the amount of help offered. Here, the old, uneducated tribal Thandappa was practicing the highly principled philosophy of life: give when you take, do not take without giving. The author was deeply impressed by this culture. मराठी सारांश. लेखिकेला भटकायला आवडते. एकदा ती कर्नाटक राज्यातील डोंगराळ सह्याद्रीच्या परिसरात गेली. पावसाळ्यात रक्तपिपासू किड्यांचा त्रास होतो, तरीही लेखिकेने पावसाळ्याचीच निवड केली. दूरवरचा वृक्षाचा मंद वास, झुडपं आणि फुलं, वेगवेगळ्या पक्ष्यांचे आवाज व निर्दोष स्वच्छ हवेचा शीळ वाजवीत येत असलेला मंद वारा. शहरातील जीवनात हे अनुभवायला कधीच मिळत नाही. लेखिका जंगलातील आदिवासी भागात एक शाळा होती, तिला भेटायला निघाली. लेखिकेची धर्मदाय संस्था शाळाची अवस्था सुधारण्यास मदत करते. येथील आदिवासींना थांडा म्हणत व त्यांच्या म्होरक्याला थांडाप्पा म्हटले जाई. त्याला तेथील आदिवासी देवासमान पूज्य मानित. लेखिका गावात पोहोचली तेव्हा पाऊस पडत होता. तिथे जाण्यात लेखिकेला आगंतुक गेल्याप्रमाणे कधीच वाटले नाही. बराच वेळ पायी चालून लेखिका त्या गावातल्या शाळेजवळ पोहोचल्या. डोक्यावर 3 कळशी पाण्याने भरून एक स्त्री लईत चालली होती. लेखिकेने तिला शाळेचा रस्ता विचारला, पण ती उत्तर न देताच निघून गेली. कदाचित तिला लेखिकेची भाषा कळली नसेल. नंतर लेखिकेने एका वृद्धाला शाळेचा रस्ता विचारला. तो टोपली विणत होता. तो काहीच बोलला नाही व बोटाने दिशा दाखविली. ती शाळा जुनी साकार इमारतीत होती. आदिवासींनी तिचे बांधकाम केले असेल असे लेखिकेला वाटले. ती एक प्राथमिक शाळा होती. काही मुले खेळत होती, तर काही एका शेडखाली पाने व पोकळ कांड्यांशी खेळत होती. इमारतीच्या आत एक लहान खोलीत 2 खुर्च्या, 2 टेबल व फळा होता. पाण्याचा माठ होता. लाईट, पंखे वगैरे नव्हते. कोणतेही दार नसलेली जागा खिडकीचे काम करत होती. त्यामुळेच खोलीत हवा, प्रकाश येत होता. ऑफिसात कोणीच नव्हते. त्यामुळे एक वृद्ध चालत लेखिकेपाशी आला. लेखिकेने त्याला शाळेला मदत करण्याचा तिचा हेतू जाहीर केला. त्यावर त्याने कोणताही उत्साह न दाखविल्याने लेखिकेने जरा सहज व आपुलकीने सुरुवात करावी म्हणून त्या वृद्धाच्या जीवनावर विचारण्यास सुरुवात केली. त्याने सांगितले की तो शाळेचा चपराशी व रखवालदार दोन्ही भूमिका वठवीत होता. तो पगारी कर्मचारी नव्हता. त्याचा नातू त्या शाळेत फुकट शिकत होता व त्याबद्दलही तो ही सेवा करीत होता. बऱ्याच वर्षापासून हे सुरू होते. शाळेच्या आवारात एका लहान झोपडीत तो राहायचा. आता वृद्धाला लेखिकेशी बोलताना सहज वाटायला लागताच लेखिकेने शाळेचा विषय काढला. त्याने सांगितले की शाळा सरकार चालवित होती. 2 शिक्षक व 50 विद्यार्थी होते. गणवेश आवश्यक नव्हता. विद्यार्थ्यांची पटसंख्या चांगली आहे हे पाहून लेखिकेला उत्साह वाटला. शाळा चालवण्यात कोणत्या अडचणी असल्याचे तिने वृद्धाला विचारले. त्यावर तो अधिक न बोलता सरळ जवळच्या झोपडीत घेऊन गेला व तिची भेट थंडाप्पाशी घालून दिली. तो 90च्या वरच्या वयाचा होता. लेखिकेला पाहून त्याला आनंद वाटला. पावसाळ्यात शाळेत ये जा करणे कठीण जाते आणि शाळेचा गणवेश पावसाळ्यात वाळत नाही असे त्याने सांगितले. तेथील लोकांचे जीवन व अडचणी जाणून घेऊन लेखिकेने निरोप घेतला. त्यानंतर हिवाळ्यात लेखिका छत्र्या व कापड घेऊन परत त्या ठिकाणी गेल्या. आता पाऊस नव्हता. आता ते ठिकाण निसर्ग सौंदर्याने नटले होते. फुलं, पक्षी, आकाश सारेच सुखद वाटत होते. पुन्हा तिने थंडाप्पाची भेट घेतली. त्याने तिला ओळखले व तिचे स्वागत केले. तिने मुलांसाठीचे कापड व छत्र्या थंडाप्पाला देऊन स्वीकृत करण्यास विनंती केली. थंडाप्पा संकोच करू लागला. त्याला पेचात पडल्यासारखे वाटू लागले. लेखिका म्हणाली की तिने स्वतःहून त्या वस्तू मुलांसाठी आणल्या आहेत, त्यामुळे संकोच करू नये. थंडाप्पा काही न बोलता झोपडीत गेला. तिथे जमलेल्या मुलांना पाहून तिने विचारले की त्यांना काय शिकावेसे वाटते. कोणीच काही बोलले नाही. बराच आग्रह केल्यानंतर लाजत लाजत 1-2 मुले पुढे आली. अखेर एक मुलगा बोलला की त्यांनी कॉम्प्युटरबद्दल ऐकले आहे, पण टीव्हीवरच तो पाहिला आहे. त्यांना कॉम्प्युटरबद्दल शिकायचे होते. त्याने लेखिकेला कॉम्प्युटरची माहिती कन्नड भाषेत असलेल्या पुस्तकाबद्दल विचारले. त्यांचे बोलणे ऐकून लेखिका सुखावल्या. तिने त्यांना बंगलोर येथे तसे पुस्तक पाहण्याचे वचन दिले व न मिळाल्यास स्वतःच लिहिण्याची तयारी दर्शवली. त्यावेळी थंडाप्पा आतमधून बाहेर आले. त्यांच्या हातात लाल रंगाचे पेय असलेली बाटली होती. त्याने लेखिकेला ती बाटली दिली. तो जंगली लाल फळांचा रस होता. रस शुद्ध होता. त्यात काही मिसळले नव्हते. प्रकृतीसाठी तो रस उत्तम होता. 2 वर्षे खराब न होणारा रस होता. त्यामध्ये पाणी मिसळून ढवळून पिण्यास थंडाप्पाने लेखिकेला सांगितले. लेखिका पेचात पडली. एवढ्या दारिद्र्यात राहणाऱ्यांकडून भेट कशी घ्यावी? त्यांनाच धड खायला मिळत नव्हते. शिवाय लेखिका तिथे काहीतरी देण्यासाठी गेली होती, घेण्यासाठी म्हणून नव्हे. म्हणून त्याने विनम्रतेने ते पेय नाकारले. तेव्हा थंडाप्पाने गंभीरपणे सांगितले की त्यांना लेखिकेच्या भेटवस्तू स्वीकारता येणार नाहीत. त्यांचे पूर्वज अनेक पिढ्यांपासून त्या जंगलात राहत आले असून त्यांच्या पद्धती त्यांनी शिकवल्या आहेत. जेव्हा कोणी आपल्याला काही देत असेल तेव्हा आपण जर त्या देणाऱ्याला काहीतरी देत असू तरच स्वीकाराव्यात अशी ती शिकवण होती. जोपर्यंत लेखिका तो रस स्वीकारत नाही तोपर्यंत लेखिकेने आणलेल्या वस्तू स्वीकारणार नाही अशी भूमिका थंडाप्पाने घेतली. लेखिकेला हे ऐकून धक्का बसला. त्या पेचातच पडल्यात. हा अनुभव नवीनच होता, कारण लोक केवळ आभारच मानित. काही ठिकाणी तर वस्तू दिल्यावर लेखिकेला तक्रारी ऐकाव्या लागल्या होत्या. पण हा आदिवासी म्हातारा अशिक्षित असूनही जीवनाचे श्रेष्ठ तत्वज्ञान आचरणात आणू पाहत होता. घेताना देणे शिका, दिल्याशिवाय घेऊ नका ही महान संस्कृती होती. लेखिकेने प्रभावित होऊन त्यांची लाल रसांची बाटली स्वीकारली. थंडाप्पा शेवटी बोलला की स्वीकारण्यातही खुबी असते. मीनिंग ऑफ डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स. ड्रिझलिंग DRIZZLING means falling in drops, रिमझिम पाऊस पडणे. लीचेस LEECHES means blood sucking worm, रक्तपिपासू कीटक. Dreaded 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 means greatly feared, भयावह. Exotic EXOTIC means foreign, बाहेरचे, दूरचे, अपरिचित. चॅरिटेबल ट्रस्ट means धर्मादाय संस्था. Beholden 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 means grateful, आभारी. Glistering GLISTENING glistening means shining, glittering. चकाकणे, चकाकी. Intruder 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 means someone who goes where he is not supposed to, घुसखोर. Dialect 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 means Form of a language spoken by people in one area. बोली भाषा. Humming. HUMMING. Humming means गुणगुणणे. Thatched. THATCHED. Thatched means roofing of straw, शाकार. Ventilation means खिडकी, झरोके. At ease म्हणजे कम्फर्टेबल, सुखात, आरामात. Commuting. COMMUTING. Commuting means to interchange. Paradise. PARADISE. Paradise म्हणजे स्वर्ग, जन्नत. Bloomed. BLOOMED. Bloomed म्हणजे मोहरणे. Cooing. COOING. Cooing means हळू आवाज करणे, घुमणे. Embarrassed. EMBARRASSED. Embarrassed means to put difficulties in one's way. पेचात पडणे. Coaxing. COAXING. Coaxing means strike to persuade. मनधरणी करण्याचा प्रयत्न करणे. Gravely. GRAVELY. Gravely means seriously, गंभीरपणे. Humbled. HUMBLED. Humbled means realize that one is not as important as he or she thought to be. Recipients. RECIPIENTS. Recipients means some who receive something, स्वीकारणारा. Grumble. GRUMBLE. Grumble means to complain, to find fault with, कुरकुर करणे. Accomplished. ACCOMPLISHED. Accomplished means to do, to carry out, करणे, तडीस नेणे. Esteem. ESTEEM. Esteem means प्रशंसा करणे, विचार करणे. Very short answer questions. 1. Why does the author visit the tribal school? Answer. The author visited the tribal school because the charitable trust with which she was connected wanted to help to improve the school. 2. Who is Thandappa? Answer. Thandappa was the headman of the local groups of tribals called Thanda. 3. Why does the watchman cum Pune take her to the Thandappa? Answer. The watchman cum Pune took the author to the Thandappa because the author wanted to know the difficulties in running the school and he was unable to give adequate reply. 4. Is the author happy with the school? Explain. Answer. The author is happy with the school as she was impressed by the number of children attending the school. She was happy to see that the uneducated parents living in miserable conditions had willingness to educate their children. 5. The Thandappa rose even further in my esteem. This means that sometime earlier the author had formed a good impression of the man. Cite the instance. Answer. The Thandappa has practiced the highly principled philosophy of giving something while taking. Although he was not educated, but he knew the major principle of philosophy. This made the author form a good impression of that man. 6. Identify sentences in the text that provides information regarding the following. A. Where is the Sahyadri Hills? Answer. Karnataka. On one occasion, I went to Sahyadri Hills, a densely forested region in Karnataka. B. Where does the author come from? Answer. Bangalore. I told them that I would look for such books in Bangalore. C. What language do the children of Thanda speak? Answer. Kannada. Do you have any book about computers that is written in Kannada? 7. Do you think umbrellas and clothes are an appropriate gift for the children? Why? Answer. Yes, I do, because the children could not go to school in rainy season due to rain. Their clothes could not dry during rainy season. Therefore, umbrellas, clothes were an appropriate gift for those children. 8. Identify sentences in the text that provide the following details about the author. A. She is a woman. Answer. Not even when I reached the school after a long walk and every villager stood by staring at me. B. She is a charity worker. Answer. The charitable trust with which I am connected wanted to help improve the school. C. She is a teacher. Answer. Having been brought up in teacher's family and being a teacher myself, I was delighted to hear what these children had to say. 9. Thandas are delightful. Substantiates this statement from text. Answer. The Thandas consider their headman Thandappa as a living god. They follow his practices of custom. They believe in following the lessons taught by their ancestors. These lessons were regarding the philosophical principle of life. They cared about their culture. They were kind and good to the guest. They knew the importance of education. All these qualities made the author call them delightful. 10. Do you think the school needs assistance of any sort? Explain. Answer. The school needs assistance in the form of furniture, fixtures, and amenities. They need electrical goods and electricity. The old thatched building of the school need to be repaired. 11. What lesson does the author learn from the tribal village head? Answer. The author learned the lesson of highly principled philosophy of life. Give when you take. Do not take without giving. The author thinks that this culture was the best. Short answer questions. 75 words. 1. I was shocked, embarrassed, and humbled. Why do you think the author uses three words to convey her emotions or discuss the relevance of the title? Answer. The author had experienced people expressing gratitude for assistance. Even she had come across complaints regarding the undone charity. She had also seen people not even showing gratitude. Also, the recipients of the charity complained about the amount of help given to them, but the author found fulfillment in the giving and not in the response. When the Thandappa offered her the red juice, she politely declined. Then he also declined to accept gift from the author, saying that they accept only when they can give something to the giver. He said that he was taught by their ancestors. The author says that the Thandappa was practicing the highly principled philosophy of life. Since the Thandappa tribals were not educated, the author was shocked to experience such a high philosophical principle being practiced by them. Therefore, to express the magnitude of her surprise, she has used three words to convey her emotions. 2. Why does the writer visit Sahyadri Hills? How does she describe it? Answer. The writer loved to travel at different places. Sahyadri Hills is a densely forested region of Karnataka where the writer had gone. There she visited a tribal village school deep into the forest. She was connected with a charitable trust which helped to improve the school. When she visited the hills, it was raining in drops throughout the day. The forest was filled with mild smell of foreign trees, shrubs and flowers. The chirping of different kinds of birds and the gentle whistle of the unpolluted breeze were principal sources of joys that cannot be experienced in any town or city. The local groups of tribals were called Thandas and their headman Thandappa. Those tribals were delightful and considered their headman a supreme power. The rain and glittering leaves and the strong smell of wild flowers made the writer feel as though she was on a different planet. 3. How has the writer described the school? Answer. The writer had to ask for the school. The local tribals could not talk with her. Possibly, they could not understand her language. An old man indicated the direction with his hand, and the writer reached to the school. The school was an old thatched building, which seemed as built by the tribals. It was a primary school. The writer found few children playing outside, while others were busy under a shade-like shelter doing something with leaves and straws. There was a small room with two chairs, two tables, and blackboard with a pot of water beside it. There were no electric lights or fans. Only a small opening without door served as the window. This was the only source of ventilation in the room. Nobody was present in the school whom the writer could talk. There was nobody among the staff of that school. Finally, the old man walked up to her and asked her what was she looking for. For how could the writer collect information about the school in deep forest? Answer. The writer saw that there was nobody in the school and only few children were playing outside. Meanwhile, an elderly man walked up to the writer as asked when she wanted. The writer introduced herself and told him her intention of providing some help to the school. The old man was not interested and impressed by her proposal. The writer thought that the old man would talk frankly only when he is asked about his life. So the writer asked him about his life. It was revealed that he was the live-in watchman cum peon of the school. He also worked as a tour guide when required, but he was not a paid employee. His grandson was studying in the school free of cost in return for the services rendered by him. He informed that he had been living there since long. He lived in a small hut in the courtyard of the school. 5. What did the author learn about the affairs of the school? Or who was Thandappa? What is his importance in the tribal community? Answer. The author learned that the school was run by the state government. There were two teachers and nearby 50 students who came from distant places. There was no compulsory uniform. The writer was happy at the number of students who attended the school. She was impressed by the fact that the unschooled parents were willing to educate their children in difficult living conditions. Regarding the difficulties in running the school, the headman Thandappa told that the main difficulty was running the school in rains. The students could not attend it due to lack of proper passing ways, and the school's clothes would remain wet in the rainy season. The writer gathered much information and acquired fair understanding of their problems. She decided to written with appropriate help to the children. Vocabulary. Fill in the blanks using the appropriate word. Dear Rahman, it's some time since I wrote you after my last bout of illness. My mother has been trying to persuade or reluctant me dash 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 to take yoga classes. She almost persuaded dash 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 me that yoga is the best remedy for my illness. I have not fallen for it yet. I am now getting ready to go to the Ladakh tour. Mom has been trying to, into bracket, persuade me not to, bracket complete, dash dash dash, but I think I can, into bracket, persuade her to change her opinion, bracket complete, dash dash dash. I am very optimistic. I will write to you again shortly. Love, Nihas. Now here, after filling up the blanks, it's this stanza is like this. This paragraph is like this. Dear Rahman, it's some time since I wrote to you after my last bout of illness. My mother has been trying, into bracket, to persuade a reluctant me, bracket complete, that is coaxing to take yoga lessons. She almost, into bracket, persuaded, bracket complete, it is cajole, cajole, cajole means persuaded me that yoga is the best remedy for my illness. I have not fallen for it as yet. I am now getting ready to go on the Ladakh tour. Mom has been trying to, into bracket, persuade me not to, bracket complete, that is dissuade. But I think I can, into bracket, persuade her to change her opinion, bracket complete, it is talk her round I am very optimistic. I will write to you again shortly. Love, Niyaz. Study skills. What are the difficulties in running a school? In the sentence above, run means to operate. 1. What else can you run? Look at the clue fields given below. Try and list as many things that you can run in those areas. 1. A computer, whether it is a printer, a CD player, a radio. 2. In factory, a union, an association, a schedule, the machine. 3. In a car, the air conditioner, the fan. Chapter complete.